Increasing our beauty from the inside out spiritually. That's what we're going to talk about today on the next Love My Body, Love Myself. So stick around. Hello, 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 and welcome to this episode of Love My Body, Love Myself. I'm your host, Alicia Curry, and today's show, we are talking spiritual beauty. How do you get it? How do you keep it? How do you maintain your beauty from the inside out? And I just want to welcome those of you who are watching us uh, live today. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who are on Facebook, hello. I would invite you to join our Facebook community. It is facebook.com/groups/LMBLM. And for those of you who are, if you're watching us and you have not yet joined or subscribed to our YouTube channel, I would please ask you to go over to YouTube and just subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/C/Alicia Curry. I see we have, hey, Damon, how are you doing? So we have someone joining us here. So if you would also leave a comment like Damon just did, leave a comment if you find something that we're sharing today valuable. Go ahead and leave a comment for us, but connect with us, connect with me on YouTube, on Facebook. We'd love to stay in touch, hear from you, hear your story. You can go to that Facebook group, share your story with us. If you'd like to be a guest, we're always looking for guests for the show. So you can support, sponsor, or be a guest on the show. Just email us, support@aliciacurry.com, and you can be a guest on the show. So this show is brought to you by Alicia Curry Inc., produced by Red Carpet CEO. And we also have a sponsor who is Mary by FAMU. So to know more about medical marijuana and the proper uses of medical marijuana, go to mmeri.famu.edu, and you'll hear a little bit more about our sponsor a little bit more on the show. Watering tomatoes, love it. Thank you, David. He'll try harder. I love it. So now that I have shared all this really fascinating information, I want to bring on my guest. So my guest tonight is Cassie Eubank, and she says that she's a work in progress, and she's learned the best way to love herself and her body is to be okay with the woman body that she has right now, and quit thinking that she has to look like she did when she was 25. She's found that as she focuses more on the beauty of her soul and not her physical beauty, she feels more inner peace, more freedom, and she knows that she's more than just her physical body. So Cassie is so phenomenal because what she does is she guides people using the power of their mind to create the outcomes they want in their life. And it all starts with feeling good about yourself and your abilities so you can be loved and valued. So she is going to share with us how to help people shift their perspectives and live a more vibrant, quality life from your spirit. So I am super excited to welcome to the show, Cassie Eubank. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Alicia. How are you? So great to see you.
I'm so thankful that you're here today. You know, Cassie's a really great friend of mine. I'm surprised she hasn't been on the show yet, but she has such a fabulous life that finally I I texted her. I'm like, why haven't you been on my show yet? So and she's like, okay, I'll schedule time to be on your show. So thank you so much. Now, I want to go back because in the piece we talked about when I did your intro, talked about, hey, we're not 25 anymore. It's hard to live from that body. Geraldine says hi, Cassie. But you had a spectacular life early on. You were in a rock band. You had your own talk show. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was just, I've always had the mindset of why not? Instead of people always like, how can I do it? How can I make it work? There's always going to be a way to make it work. So actually, I did get into a rock band when I was young, totally faking my way in. I had some guys that I knew, and they were playing all the big clubs in South Florida. And one day, their lead singer didn't show up for band practice. So I said, well, I know Pat Benatar. Let me just jam out with you guys. So I started singing along. And they're like, wow, you're really good. Now, 2 months later, when their lead singer backed out of the band and that kind of fell apart, they're like, it's a shame you don't play keyboards because we've heard you sing and we could put the band together with you. And I was like, oh, I play keyboards. They're like, you do? I'm like, yeah, just let me know what 2 or 3 songs you want to do at practice Friday, and I'll just learn them. I just got to brush up on the chords for that song. They're like, okay, cool. And then after they said, yeah, we're going to do band practice, I went in the bathroom like, what did I just do?
I
Because,
don't know how to play the keyboard.
well, I did. I took fifth grade music appreciation. So, I mean, I could do it like a little kid would go, the dog, right? So it was like that. But I know that the thing is, yeah, you can talk that talk, but you got to be able to back it up. So again, having that basis of knowledge, I found the back then we didn't have internet. Yes, I am of that age. So I had to get the sheet music for the songs. And I could pick out, I knew how to read sheet music. So I slowly picked it out. Then I played it with the song. And when we got together for practice, they're like, oh my gosh, you can play. Excellent. We're doing this. And I'm like, oh, good. I get to go buy leather pants now because I'm in a band.
Priorities, priorities.
Exactly.
Leather
Music
pants
lessons next, but pants first, leather
on.
pants.
Then I'll take music lessons. So how did that parlay into a talk show? Like, how did you end up from being in the band to now having your own talk
Well,
show?
I love that because I had always wanted to do TV and television. And I had really great grades in school, but my dad never told me about scholarships or things like that. He was just thinking, that's too much money. So he's like, you're too short, you're too this, you're too that. Anyway, I thought, okay, well, dad told me I couldn't do it. And I believed that then. But part of me always knew that that was nonsense, that you can do anything you want. Now, I realized that at this point, I was getting a little bit later in my life because I had a son and he was always my priority. But as he got older, I thought, I need to follow my dreams so that I can show my son that no matter what age you are, you can go for it. Now, I
Oh,
knew I
wow.
wasn't going to go to Hollywood because he was still a teenager and do that whole thing out there. But I thought, why can't I do my own TV show? So I figured it out. It's one of those things. If there's a will, there's a way. And because I was in music, I decided stick with what you know. So I was able to interview bands like Matchbox 20. I was able to, I sang lead for Survivor, the Eye of the Tiger people when they were in concert. And it was called Homegrown Music, the good, the bad, and the ugly of local music. But I also had national acts, like all the record companies would send me their 3/4 inch tapes. So I got to have Limp Bizkit. I got to have all these rock bands because it was a rock music show on
Hmm.
there, mingled with some of the local bands. And we were on, I say I basically sold the ads, did the shot sheets, did the preliminary editing before I took it to the studio for final cut. But I was on Fox Channel 29 for 5 years every
Nice.
week. And I got to meet some really great band people. But then again, it became time to move on to something else because no matter where we are, I was thinking when you were saying, oh, the band, I'm like, oh, the good old days. But you know what? In 5 years, today is going to be the good old days. And
Yeah.
that's part of the key is just kind of living and appreciate what you've got in the moment.
That's so true. That's so true. So, this show's about love my body, love myself, and I love that you shared, your dad was telling you all these things that you couldn't do because of all the limitations that he saw, and probably from a father's uh, point of view, didn't want you to go out there and get hurt, didn't want you to
Mhm.
go, set yourself up for failure. So he was trying the best he could to um, not hold you back, but protect you in his way. So,
Yes.
but did any of those messages, because you did say that, I knew that that was all baloney. Not everybody has that kind of fortitude to block those messages out. Some people like I internalized those messages, and I had a whole different experience than you did. So where do you think you found that kind of fortitude to look past the limitations that he was presenting to you and say, what, I could do anything I want?
Well, a lot of that just had to do with enough is enough. I mean, all
Mm,
of my life, you're just a girl. You need to do this. This is what's expected of you. And that is, I know we have to fit in with society to some degree, but anytime something doesn't feel right, anytime something feels limiting or like it's going to make us smaller than we want to be, and anything that keeps us from expanding and growing, that is not the truth. And it's those beliefs that other people give us that we say, oh, okay, and we hold on to, that
mhm,
keep us blocked from our spiritual self and being able to shine. Because when you have just that direct map between you and your spirituality, God, your maker, spiritual universe, whatever you call it. But when you get rid of those limiting beliefs and you realize, yes, I can do it. I don't know how. Something happened that didn't seem right. Well, good. It happened for me because guess
mhm,
what? Something better's coming along. If you can revamp things and get rid of that negativity, you've got a clear line to spirit. And when you do, it will shine through you and allow
mm.
you to shine in life.
Wow.
Soul beauty.
Um,
Soul beauty.
yeah, that's soul beauty. It's challenging for some to connect to that, and it's really about not listening to the fears, not listening to the the like you said, the negativity. But even before that, it's really recognizing. You have to start recognizing and being aware of what voice you're actually listening to. I was reading in this book called Fear Less, and she was talking. This is from a psychologist, Dr. Pippa Grange, and she was talking about how, um, you know, we take on these voices that we hear over and over again, and we start taking on these voices of fear from someone else and making that our reality. And so you have to start deciphering the truth in those voices, like what is fear and what is not. And just like you said, if it's limiting you or holding you back or keeping you from living the dream or the desire that's on the inside of you, then it's not for you. um, so I
Absolutely.
love
And
that.
that is so true. And those voices that we adopt, it's because when we're born, we have two primary needs: survival and belonging.
Hmm.
And because of those two things, when our parents tell us, you shouldn't do that, we develop this internal voice that says, oh, be quiet when dad comes home. This is inappropriate. And that voice, be quiet, be quiet. And it will yell at us so that we behave, so that mom doesn't have to yell at us, because we have
Hmm.
need for survival and belonging in that family.
Right.
And we want to fit in. So we create these voices if we go to school and we're picked on. Lord knows I know what that is. Okay.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
develop this voice saying, well, we need to shy back. We need to stand back. We shouldn't say anything. We need to be more invisible to save us from that hurt. And
Yeah.
these voices are created, they're all beautiful parts of us designed to protect us, but they're designed as a child. And we never
Hmm.
are taught how to empower those voices and how to
And
go
how to
back
shift
and
them from childhood into adulthood, what doesn't serve us anymore, so that we can actually mature those voices into
yes.
what.
excuse me, we've got things going on around the house. So
Well, let me
that's
take
my
a quick
beautiful
break
dog.
then.
Hi.
Let me take a quick break. And Geraldine, thank you so much for the running commentary. I love, love, love it. Keep it coming. But we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with Cassie in a moment.
Florida A&M University established Mary to educate diverse communities about the lawful and unlawful use of marijuana, as well as the social impacts and potential consequences to health and well-being in local communities. Knowledge is power. FAMU's Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative. Learn more at mmeri.famu.edu. Follow Mary on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's MMERI. Mary, educate, learn, talk.
The Love My Body, Love Myself show is sponsored by Alicia Curry Inc. and produced by Red Carpet CEO. Alicia Curry Inc. specializes in developing audaciously proactive leaders and teams using brain science and people data to get results. Visit our website, aliciacurry.com, for more information. The show is produced by Red Carpet CEO. If you'd like a copy of Age with Audacious Confidence, visit our link tree at linktr.ee/acurry. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Love My Body, Love Myself. And today we've been talking to our guest, Cassie Eubank, which I'll bring her back up in a second. But I just wanted to quickly remind you that if you'd like to be a guest on this show, go ahead and send us an email, support@aliciacurry.com, to be a guest. And if you'd like to connect with me, you can connect with me at alicia360.com. Or if you're on Instagram, just go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm at the Alicia Curry and at Audacious Confidence. Now, let me bring back Miss Cassie Eubank. Hey, Cassie.
Hi, so glad to be back.
Well, I think we left off in a great place, because I want to talk to you now about this spiritual beauty. How do we develop it? Because as we age and we get into our 40s, 50s, 60s, and we start looking at our bodies and we start looking at things that like, ooh, this is not in the same place it was yesterday, and there's a tendency to kind of want to live back in those good old 20s and 30 days. But how do we really begin to love and appreciate where we are in life, the body that we're in, and who we've become as women, as people? Where does that soul spiritual beauty come from?
Well, I think that comes with acceptance. And what I mean by that is, yes, when people are overweight or they feel like that, I call it my hoochie mama roll. I've got a little bit of that still going on. Okay. When we have these things that we aren't overly pleased about, usually it's a lot more than just the way we look, Alicia. It's the fact that I know I'm not eating as clean as I could to get into shape. I know I'm not exercising or moving my body. And again, exercise seems to be a dirty word, but it can be dancing, it can be stretching, it can be anything at all where
Walking.
you're
Yep.
moving your body. So I think that the bigger challenge comes with we aren't in alignment with what we know is right for ourselves. And that makes us feel as much or more distressed than the weight itself. And yeah, of
So there's
course, who
an
doesn't want to
element
have
of guilt and shame, right? There's a little element of guilt in there, shame.
we know we could do better. We know we want to be here, but we just aren't moving towards that goal. It just isn't as important to us at this time. So, to me, realizing that, you know what, right now, other things are taking priority and they're important to me. And that's okay. And if it gets to the point where it's more important to me to get rid of that hoochie mama roll, I mean, look at you. You're in beautiful shape, but you are congruent with the things that you want. You're congruent with the way that you eat. And not saying that you won't have a nibble at something, but that congruency in how you eat and how you make sure that you work out and take care of yourself, and that fitness, that keeps you spiritually aligned as well as physically aligned. And so many times with physical beauty, it goes much deeper than that. And it's a matter of, eating. I hear all the time in my practice, people are eating their emotions.
Mm.
Now, and that's the whole thing with all over beauty. And I just love your viewers, Alicia. I've just got to say
I
that
know,
they are
Jolyn is like the
great,
best.
great. So, yeah, the thing with that is when we are eating down our emotions, then we wind up, first of all, we wind up not being where we want to be. We wind up not being happy. But I've seen larger women who are just like, yep, this is the way I am. I don't care about it. This is how I want to eat, and life is good. And those women are just so beautiful, so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're in alignment with who they are. And that's
Yeah.
a spiritual beauty that glows with them, because they know, you know what? If my health becomes an issue, then I'll pare down. I'll make it more of a priority. But right now, I am okay. And it's just
I love
accepting.
me. Yes, it's like I love me. You
Yeah.
know,
And I say, I love my curves. I won't miss them when they're gone, but, just love every part of yourself and just be okay with who you are, and know that, this journey, I used to be a stick figure for so long, but because I am 15 pounds more than I want to be, which is a lot less than a lot of women, but it gives me more empathy, more understanding, because it's not so easy now for me to take it off. I can connect in a way that I could empathize, but I couldn't totally relate before. So to me,
mm,
it's a blessing. Everything is a blessing. And when we look at it that way, it's so much easier.
yeah. I had a guest a couple months ago talk about um Carolyn said, as soon as I can stop looking at the exercise bike, the sooner I'll get started.
Well, first you got to take all the clothes that you're
You
putting
got to
over it
take the
as a
clothes off
hanger
of it,
off.
right? So he was saying, you have to stop looking at food as comfort. There's no such thing as comfort food. Stop looking at it as, because it doesn't comfort you. It's actually clogging your artery. It's like it's not doing good for your body when you look at it as comfort food.
Well, and the biggest statement around that is people are like, well, I deserve it. I've had a
I
hard
need it.
day.
I
I
deserve
deserve
it.
it.
Right. I need
And
that
no,
drink.
you
I need
don't
the
deserve clogged arteries and to feel bad and to have that sugar crash. You deserve to be living your best life, fueling your body with things that are good for you. You deserve to get in alignment with who you were born spiritually, until the craziness of this world, these challenges that we get to go through and learn from, until all of those made us, changed our mind. We came
Mhm.
into this world knowing how awesome we were and in alignment. And
Yeah.
it's just a returning to alignment with who we actually are at our core, before we started taking in all these filters of what the world expected of us.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, so listen, if you want to connect with Cassie, you can connect with her on Facebook. You can go to at Cassandra.Eubank. That is her personal profile. Or you can email her at Cassie, sorry, email Cassie at CassieEubank.com. So you practice hypnotherapy and other modalities to help people get centered, to get rid of the baggage, get rid of the junk, and really start becoming in alignment, removing that those expectations of your of kind of that child mind, that protective, have to do things a certain way to protect yourself, and really mature that. Because I did a session with you. It was remarkable, how you can um, kind of identify the things that are holding you back because of that child that was trying to protect you. And now as an adult, you don't need that child to protect you anymore. So um, I want to talk a little bit about how do we discover that spiritual wealth, that spiritual beauty. What are some of the steps that we can take to immediately like shift into that?
Well, the overall theme is to clear the negative emotions. Just like we don't want to eat toxic junk food if we want our body to be healthy, we don't want to eat toxic emotions if we want to be spiritually healthy. So, with
Oh,
that,
say that again. Wait, say that again, please.
yes, the whole idea is we don't want to eat foods that are bad for us, sugary foods, toxic foods, if we want our body to be healthy. And we don't want to eat these toxic emotions, these negative emotions, if we want to be spiritually healthy.
And
And
the
that
reason
is
I
the
wanted you to, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the reason I wanted you to repeat it is because when you take on these things, you are actually like feeding yourself these toxic emotions and you're ingesting it and eating it and holding it on the inside. So we don't
and
want to do that.
just as poor foods will age your skin and your body, negative emotions will lead to disease even. And that's
Hmm.
why I got into hypnotherapy, is because when you clean up the mind, you can free the body of those things that it's holding on to that will eventually go from dis-ease, discomfort and disease to disease.
Hmm.
And, that is huge. So one of the first things I tell people is practice instant forgiveness. Instant forgiveness is basically where somebody does something stupid and you just go, I know they did something stupid. I've got the right to be upset, but I'm not going to be. I forgive them. They're just doing the best they can, even if they can be a knucklehead sometimes, or
Yeah.
whatever word you use for
Words you use,
whatever
whatever
word
word
you
you
use.
choose to
It
use.
might not be that tame. So with that, and again, I apologize. But with that, practicing instant forgiveness, if not for them, because you don't want to keep that in yourself. You want to let go of that negative emotion before it gets inside of you. So practicing
Mhm.
instant forgiveness is huge.
Yeah, because uh, um, unforgiveness, I don't know, we hear this all the time. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies, right? Because you're actually bringing that into your own spirit, that offense or that hurt or that pain. You're
Right.
taking that on. So you want to forgive quickly so that you're deflecting that and not bringing it into you.
Right. And if you can even get in the mindset that people do silly things.
They do
I've
dumb
done
things.
silly things. Everybody does silly things, sometimes knowingly, sometimes not knowingly. And if we just say, you know what, there's nothing to forgive, people just do silly things. If I'm
Mm.
walking down the aisle in a grocery store and somebody drops milk in front of me, they didn't do it to me. I have nothing to be mad at. They
Didn't
just
they
did
see
it.
me here? Did they not see me walking behind them?
Right. I'm walking. Now I got to go around. It's ruined my whole day. Now my
I gotta
wheels
slip
got
on
in
this
it. I get
milk.
a little. We
Got
tend to
milk
get
on my
so
feet.
upset. We get so wrapped up in this has wrecked this, or this is, it's
Because
interrupted my flow. And the whole
right.
thing is, so what? Life is one big, it's a wonderful circle of that. And if
Because
we
they
get
feel like
caught,
they did that to me. Nobody did it to you. You
right.
you took that on. You
And
actually
even if, which leads me into my next one, is which leads me into my next one. And I apologize. I have somebody here who's supposed to be watching the dog. Yeah, if you could just take her out back, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay.
It's live, folks. We're live here. This
Yes.
is unscripted and live.
Yes, it
Nothing
totally
to
is,
forgive.
as you can tell. This
Nothing
was,
to forgive.
I thought it was handled, but the next, the next thing after instant forgiveness is unreasonable compassion, because people are going to do things knowingly to you because they're in a bad mood, they're cranky, they're leashing, they're
Unleashing.
unleashing their nonsense on you. It's going to happen, and since it's going to happen, why not practice unreasonable compassion? If somebody cuts you off in a lane, you know you could just as easily say, instead of what a jerk, look at these drivers, they're idiots, what are they doing on the road, and all these other things that we've probably all been guilty of. Why not just think, we don't really know what's going on with them? So why not assume, oh my gosh, maybe it's somebody in their family. that really is hurt and they have to get to the hospital. Maybe there's something going on at home and they've got to get home to their kids. Why not practice unreasonable? That might not be reasonable to think because you might see them on their cell phone and be like,
Right.
that's not it. But
Like,
since we're guessing anyway, why not practice unreasonable compassion?
unreasonable compassion. Like, you know, your dog is barking. It's live. It's a live show.
Uh-huh.
Why get upset about that? We're not in control.
I
We go
wish
with
you
the flow.
weren't, but a dog is a dog.
We go with the flow. So there's no sense in getting upset with that. She's gonna bark. So
Yeah.
unreasonable compassion. I love it. And then you had a third one that you wanted to share.
The third one is speaking what I call spiritualese. Now, some people might consider that to be like, oh, namaste. And how spiritual am I? Namaste, namaste. But I'm talking about the way that you speak in general. When we remember that we are spiritual beings down here on this earth having an earthly existence, we chose to come down here. We get to do things. Like I could wake up in the morning and go, oh, another morning I have to wake up and the first thing in the morning I have to do dishes. Why
Mm.
not say I get to do dishes because I had family over? Why not say I get to clean my house? And yeah, it's going to take me a couple hours because thank goodness I have this beautiful house. Why not say, anything on any circumstance, I get to.
Well,
And
that
if we
sounds
can,
like a lot of gratitude, like approaching everything with just this gratitude for everything.
well, I am big into gratitude. And I'm actually going to be at the middle, I think it's going to be middle of June that I'm starting a 28-day free gratitude program on Facebook. But
Ooh.
I don't know, for me, it was always bewitched. And I
Yeah,
always wish that I could just do this and go like this, and then everything would be exactly the way I wanted it to. Or, bewitched wiggled her nose. That would be Genie.
that was a
For
genie. Yeah,
some
be
of the
with
younger people, it might have been
listen.
Charmed, the power of three. But
Oh my
when we
gosh.
look to magic,
I
the
think
magic is attained through gratitude. And when we're in gratitude, all those negative filters go away. It's hard to be grateful and sad. We can be sad. I'm grateful for things, but it's hard to maintain a destructive negative emotion. We can't be angry and grateful at the same time. We can't hold those two emotions. So when we're in gratitude and we're vibrating at that beautiful frequency, the frequency that the universe vibrates at, we are in alignment and everything is so much better. And that's when the magic happens. That's when the right people show up. That's when all of a sudden opportunities show up that will give you those finances that you want. And the woman who wrote The Secret, Rhonda Byrne, she wrote a book called The Magic, and it's a 28-day gratitude practice. And that's what I'm setting up for June. It will go from mid-June up until my birthday. And the last day will be my birthday, where I'm grateful for everybody because I really am. I really am. And people are like, well, what was the secret to your success? I was always grateful and I was always very expectant. Okay, great. We want to open up for some big name acts. We want to open up for Huey Lewis in the News. So, what would that look like and where can you put us in? I wouldn't go in and say, I'd like the job. I would go in and tell them, this is what I want. This is where we're going to be. And guess what? Because you're hiring us, we do this, this, and this to promote you. You're going to get all this extra publicity. But, I just went in there and said, how can I make what I want an even bigger win for the other person? Such a big win that they just can't say no. And when you look at it that way, what can I bring to the table? Why hire me over a different band? We didn't have audition tapes. I just went and said, this is what we do. This is how we do it. This is how you're going to benefit. And you're going to get a killer rock band in here. And every time they'd be like, well, we can't argue with that. And we always were asked back because we did happen to be a very, very good band. I had killer monster players in the band.
nice.
So I was very.
See why she's my friend. You see? I
Yes.
love that. Yeah, you had the gumption. You had the audacious confidence, girl, to go in there and say what it is, what it is you needed, what it is
Mhm.
your goal, your vision, your dreams. Say, yep, this is what we want, and this is how you're going to benefit. Love it. You know,
Absolutely.
Um, Cassie was one of the early people in my whole transformation that really helped me as a speaker really attain my own confidence back when I didn't even think that I could stand in front of people and speak. So, all of this has been a product of some of the work that I've done over the years with Cassie. So thank you, Cassie. Thank you for that rock star cruise that we went on.
And I thought, and you know what? It's symbiotic because you were doing me such a favor. We were doing a cruise, and I just wanted superstars, and I wanted to, let people shine and have a great place for people. And you certainly did. We had a photographer, Cece, who's amazing. She was taking pictures. It was posted everywhere. So it was a win-win for everybody. And, certainly you you are the superstar. No doubt about it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And when I look back at that cruise, how many years ago was that? I don't even remember the year it was. But when I look back at that cruise, I was probably 15 pounds heavier than I am now, and really un I was still kind of coming out of my shell of my lack of confidence shell in myself, and I thought, okay, why not? I'll go. I'll go on this. I'll go help you out, right? I'll go help you out on the cruise and do makeup and hair for everybody, all the attendees. And as a bonus, I got to attend the workshop that she was doing as well. Um, and you need to work on public speaking, Jalen. You got to call Cassie. Yeah. So, and the tips, the tools, the techniques, you made me get up in front of everybody and speak. And I still have photos of that.
And you were
That,
brilliant. You were brilliant.
listen, that was like a turning point for me in my evolution. And it was so important. And look, now, it was so important because you implanted in me, because we were on this cruise in international waters, and you implanted in me that I was an international global speaker. And look, this Friday I'm leaving to go to Dubai to speak to first ladies from around the world at a summit in front of all these female leaders, world leaders, and royalty and stuff. And that would not have happened if that seed wasn't planted by Kelly, Kelly, Keisha, and you all
Mhm.
those years ago, probably about 8 or 9 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago.
But here's the
So
key, Alicia. Yes, it's great when people give you motivation opportunities, but you stepped up to the plate. You said, you know what? I'm in a safe place. I'm with people who care about me, that want the best for me. I'm going to do this. And you said it really doesn't, like a kid, when they color, they don't care about the outcome. Is this
I
going
don't
to
care
be a
about the
beautiful
line.
picture? They can put up something like stick figures. Mommy, look at how great I did. And as a mom, you're like, oh my God, you are Picasso. And you're Van Gogh. So the whole thing is the joy of doing. And that's, if we can just get past the fear of, what if I don't do perfectly or as good as I want, or
Right.
what will people say?
What if I forget
Well,
my
just
speech?
get in there and do it. Just have
Yeah.
fun.
And that helped me tap into that part of me that is that get in there and do it girl, that I was stifling and I was holding down because I was so in fear and had so much perfectionism that I had to be perfect, and if it wasn't perfect I couldn't do it. And but my perfectionism was all fear based. It was all that um that child that was trying to protect me from making mistakes. And now, heck, I love making mistakes because this whole show is mistakes. Like, there isn't a part of this, Michelle. I've made probably like 5 mistakes already running the show, and I'm sure nobody cares. Nobody's pointing it out. And so I've become this um free person to accept, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep growing from it, and not hold myself back because, oops, I played the wrong commercial. Oops, I did the wrong, I put up the wrong banner. Oops. It doesn't really matter in the long run. Just get up, get out, and do it. Geraldine, thank you so much. Yes. Get up
Absolutely.
and do it. Get up and do it, because if you allow fear to hold you back, then you're missing out on the spiritual beauty life has for you.
But you touched upon something really huge, and I'm not sure if you even realize it. You said you had that inner child that was in fear and trying to protect you, and then you just kind of stepped out. Now, here's the thing. We don't want to chastise that inner child because that child has been working hard. What we do is we give that child a better job. I know you've been protecting me. I know you keep reminding me of all this, but wouldn't it be more fun to go out and play and have fun and step into life and feel good about it and be free? So we never want to stifle a part or tell a part it's bad. We want to give it something more fun to do. So fun.
Go and be a child again, go
Forgets
play,
it.
have fun.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, Alicia, thank you so much. No one notices those things. Yes. But that when you're self-critical and you're self-judging, you see all, like I did the show the other day and I talked about the three voices in your head, and I completely messed up the third voice. And I kept thinking, I got to go back and fix it. I got to go back and fix it. You know what? Next time I do the show, I will talk about it and I will say, you know what? I made a mistake a couple shows ago. This is what it really is. And I'm not going to spend my nights and my days trying to fix something that's already passed.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
there's opportunity to address it again at another point.
Exactly.
Yes, Jelen, do not allow fear to hold you back. Amen, amen. Alicia says the inner child work is something she's been doing. Yes, yes, it is so important because, and we can do a whole show on the inner child. We can do a whole show. I can bring a whole bunch of guests to talk about the inner child because Alicia, you should be a guest. Let's come on. Go to support at aliciacurry.com and let's put you on as a guest and let's talk about this inner child work because let's have a conversation about it. And Cassie, you can come back too and we can talk about
Talk
that.
about how we use parts therapy to resolve and heal all of that, and then grow up with all the good stuff.
Yes, let's do a show on parts therapy. Alicia, you in? Yes, we'll do a show on parts therapy and how we can look at all the different parts, because that's what I did with Cassie recently. We did a session on parts therapy and how we can look at all those different parts of us and heal those parts so that we can move forward and get rid of these things that hold us back. So
empower the parts and let them live in harmony. Empower, heal, and live in harmony.
Awesome. So Alicia is in. Cassie
Yay,
is in.
Alicia.
Geraldine, yes. Geraldine says do it. I'm excited. We're going to go for it and we're going to do it. Thank you so much, Cassie, for sharing all this amazing wisdom and helping us see ourselves in a different way.
And can I offer one last tip?
Mm-hmm.
I know that Geraldine said something about being hard on himself. When I say unreasonable compassion, I invite you to practice that towards yourself.
Ooh. Unreasonable compassion toward yourself. Ooh. Got chills.
Exactly. If you would give that to another, why would you not?
All of them, Cassie. Instant forgiveness. Practice instant self-forgiveness, because this is love my body, love myself. Instant self. So, okay, so you ate 2 pieces of pizza instead of the one. Okay, forgive yourself.
I'll do better tomorrow.
Tomorrow, let's have a salad. Unreasonable compassion, and speak spiritualese to yourself. I get to do this today. I get to, I get to lotion this body and make it supple and healthy and feel good, instead of, look at all these rolls and folds. Like as you caress yourself and love on yourself and treat yourself, do it to you. So yeah, yep. Love it. So Geraldine says, empower, heal, live in harmony. Yes. Alicia's like, Pow. So, oh, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful show. Great comments. Thank you all for interacting and being and participating so much. And Cassie, thank you so much for being here and sharing all
Well,
this juiciness.
thank you
Go
for having Kai, my dog, and myself.
ahead. Yes. And Geraldine says she's going to practice all these things towards herself. Yes. And let us know how it's going as you do that, Geraldine. I really appreciate you and thank you so much for sharing with us today. I just want to remind everybody you can go connect with Cassie on Facebook. It's Eubank, and you can email her, Cassie@CassieEubank.com. This has been a phenomenal show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for saving me because I texted her, I'm like, I need a guest. And she's like, okay, I'll do it. So thank you so much. So guest spots are open. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, again, email us support@aliciacurry.com. Next week, we will be here with a show. It's been pre-recorded. I will be in Dubai, but leave your comments, come join us. I will be checking in on the comments. I might even, depending on the time, let's see, we're 8 hours ahead. That might be super early, but I will come back and check in on all the comments. So please come to next week. We're talking to a guest talking about really loving yourself after 50, the things that she did to really love and enjoy herself again after 40, after 50, and be better than she was in her 30s. So you wanna come back and hear about that. Thank you, Alicia. Jolyn says you were all great. Say hello to your dog, Cassie. She says thank you, and thank you so much. So yeah, and I will see you live when I get back. And I will be, follow me on the gram because I'm going to be posting stuff. So if you want to follow me, go ahead and follow me. Let me find my Instagram. You can connect with me on alicia360.com. Everything is there. But you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, the Alicia Curry or the Audacious Confidence, and follow my adventures in Dubai coming up. Thank you, Alicia, and thank you, Cassie. I will see you all next time. So as we close out the show, and I'm going to keep Cassie here. I usually don't, but as we close off the show, I just want to say two things. Number one, go check out mary.famu.edu. I have it here. mmeri.famu.edu to find out more about the proper use of medical marijuana, the legal use of medical marijuana. They have a lot of information there for you. Let you know that this show has been sponsored by FAMU Mary as well as Alicia Curry Inc. And it's been produced by Red Carpet CEO. Please join our Facebook community. It's facebook.com/groups/LMBLM. And go to YouTube and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All our shows are there. All the wonderful stuff is there. You can go to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/C/Alicia Curry. Thank you, Dora. Dora's here. Woohoo! Thank you so much, Dora, for joining us. You graduated from FAMU. Yay! Geraldine, FAMU is doing some amazing things to help people understand how to use medical marijuana safely, and get the knowledge, get what you need from that. So yay, FAMU. So I am going to close off the show by telling you, yes, I see you waving back, Tara. I'm going to close off the show by saying to do something for yourself this week. And since Cassie gave us these 3 amazing things, I will encourage you to practice, Geraldine had it here, practice instant self-forgiveness, unreasonable compassion, and spiritual ease towards yourself to prove to yourself that you love your body and you love yourself. Thank you so much for joining us today. Love you all. Mwah, 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 mwah. see you next time on Love My Body, Love Myself. And you can check out our show on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern on winwinwomen.tv. You can go there and check that out as well. So see you all next time. Oh, I have one more comment. Let me put that up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So now I'm closing off the show. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.